whether 5-Minute Crafts is a Russian psyop or not, I think it's clear that these content farms are a problem. And I think I have found the perfect person to talk to about how to combat them. Because while I was researching for this review, I came across this academic paper, which is all about how Ann Reardon's channel is fighting the good fight against content farms. So let's talk to the person who wrote it.
My name's Beth Downy, and I'm a professor and popular culture librarian at Mississippi State University. I wrote a paper and presented it in 2022 called DIY Disinformation: Using Fake Crafting Videos to Combat Fake News.
Beth's been teaching for almost 20 years, showing undergrad students how to research, how to find good information. And she says that in around 2016,
we started getting more requests from our English instructors on, hey, our students are not finding good information. A lot of the information they're finding is misinformation. And so I started pivoting towards evaluating sources. And I was surfing YouTube as one does, and I came across Ann Reardon's channel, How to Cook That, and found a lot of the debunking videos. And I thought this would be a very unique way to teach about misinformation, because it's one thing to teach about fake news headlines, but most of the research we do online is find me a recipe for chicken spaghetti, or hey, my knee clicks when I walk. What could that be? So those are the searches that we're really doing. And she was showing in a very relatable and entertaining way how some of these quote unquote cooking hacks were really just bunk.
And while Beth was using Ann's videos to teach her students, she was herself learning something from Ann.
And really, I have to give her credit because honestly, she's where I realized what content farms were. So she was the one that took me down the rabbit hole of what content farms consisted of, that they're not just about crafting and cooking channels. And a lot of them are not just doing kind of these fake baking videos, but are putting out legitimately dangerous misinformation.
And whether the content these farms are putting out is harmless or harmful, they've got one thing in common.
Just imagine like a old-fashioned cash register going ka-ching. Or a casino slot. Every time that video gets clicked, they're making more money off of it. The more popular it becomes, YouTube's algorithm will be like, okay, we need to add more ads to this so that, more ads get seen.
And if we're just mindlessly scrolling, we end up passively staring at it.
It's a volume game. It's a numbers game. These content farms really put out massive amounts of content, usually pretty low quality. Lots of fast edits. They're usually very short videos. They don't really have a lot of dialogue. There's no voiceover. There's usually some happy music. And I kind of liken it to like multi-sensory ASMR. So it's that kind of thing where you just kind of put it on the background and you watch it, not necessarily because you think you're going to learn a cooking skill, but because it's just kind of fascinating.
Now, if you really love these videos and are happy to have them in your feed, I don't want to yuck your yum or anything, so feel free to ignore this next bit. But if you're like me and would prefer a world where genuine and independent content creators who are putting out really valuable, good stuff have more of a chance, then Beth says there are a few things you can do.
So the first thing I would say is follow legitimate creators. Find actual content creators where you know their face, you know their voice, and you know that they make mistakes. Another thing is turn off autoplay. Do not let the algorithm feed you. It's like in my paper, I use the analogy of if you have a cat that's on a diet, you don't give them an automatic feeder that just constantly pumps food to them. Starve the algorithm. Even if you hit, I dislike this, or if you comment, this sucks, this doesn't work, you are still feeding it, is still giving it attention. So the one thing to do if you see, or this comes across your feed, is report. Report it to YouTube for misinformation, for false information, and then click out of them.